Okay. So we just learned that apparently, we learned that he has a fiancée, but then you also learned his fiancée is not exactly faithful. So I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Later that night, after turning for hours in bed without any success of sleep, I make my way downstairs for a glass of milk. I stop abruptly at the sound of hushed voices. Parfait and Rumpel are sitting together at a table. Their voices soft. It means a lot to me that you're still taking care of me even with everything that you have on your plate. When things are uncertain as they are right now, little things that remain the same are actually comforting. What? No compliments tonight? Even flirting with even Parfait is kind of weird, because I don't know, I imagine Parfait is like the mother of everyone. Everyone's mom is Parfait, I feel like. Yeah, he's still flirting with Parfait sometimes, at least before. Not right now, though. He clears his throat. Lady Parfait, I always find comfort in your presence. Your heart's not in it, is it? Please don't stress yourself out trying to take care of me. I've seen the orders on the medicines and the dosages. I can take care of myself, Rumpel. I owe you and Lady Delora for letting me stay here. Even now, you could have kicked me out, yet I'm still here. No, this isn't the confident Rumpel that I'm used to seeing. It's rather heartbreaking to see you like this, you know. Parfait's eyes drift past Rumpel, and she sees me before I can dart away. I think you're worrying your partner, too. Rumpel turns in his seat and stares at me. Princess? I slowly make my way toward them. I'm sorry, Princess. I haven't been trying to help you at all. It's fine. Parfait's right. Though, it's not like you to be so pitiful. Your words are still sharp as ever. I glance at Parfait curiously. The light of the tavern lights her face dimly, making it look more ghostly than usual. She looks sicklier. Do you think I look like a ghost, Princess? Your mind-reading powers? Yes, well, probably. Maybe. That's actually a possibility. She might have mind-reading powers. I don't know. You do look like a ghost, apparently. At least pale, I guess. By the time night comes around, I'm utterly exhausted. You said you were like this because of the Tenebrarum lucis you have to take care of? That's correct. I used to be able to watch it over it more easily, but now with the balance between both crystals lost in the kingdom, it's getting harder. This responsibility is a big burden. It's a heavy toll on my body. That doesn't diminish any of my pride. I am proud to bear this responsibility. Someone needs to do it, and I'm very glad I can help so many people through bearing this burden. What would happen if you just let the responsibility go? Well, there would be even more chaos than there is now. And what of the Tenebrarum Bearer? Would they not help you with your stress? There is no Tenebrarum Bearer currently. What? Her face stares at me for a few moments, a complicated expression on her face, and suddenly, he sighs. Please do not worry about me, Princess. I've lived a good life. I just want to do more good while I still live. How old are you? I assume fairies and witches, they do live longer, I assume. Maybe, I don't know. Longer than the normal human lifespan, anyway. And I'm very lucky to be surrounded by so many good people. Anyway, the two of you should be off to bed soon. I can tell you're both tired. Parfait pauses to look at me, eyebrows slightly arched. Oh, but before you go, there was something I meant to ask you. Ask me. Parfait crosses her arms and looks at me tersely for a few moments. The look is so unlike her that it almost concerns me. She looks uncertain of something, though I cannot imagine what it is. What could she want to discuss with me? I wanted to ask if you're free the day after tomorrow. I am free whatever my schedule says I am. And if you could spare 20 or so minutes, I want to speak with you about something very important. Probably, the fact that you're the Tenebrarum Bearer and everything, that this is like the third time we're getting this shocking revelation, whatever. Important? I suppose you could say is related to your curse. So to be fair, they kind of introduce it in different ways every time, and we kind of learn more, every time, on different routes anyway, at least different details, but We'll see. Hi. Her face smiles at us before walking back to her room, leaving me alone with Rumpel. Rumpel smiles at me uncertainly. For a few moments I think he might actually talk to me, but then he rushes off after giving me an apology. I watch him walk up the stairs, my heart sinking. I need to know what's going on with him. Maybe could try barging in, when he's changing his room. I don't know. Did that before. Today's my day off. I keep on the lookout for Rumpel. Eventually, I see him making his way down the staircase. He does not look quite so disheartened as last night, but his expression is rather somber. He says good morning to everyone as he usually does, and then walks out through the front door. And that's my cue. Time to stalk him. Following behind Rumpel without being seen proves to be remarkably easy. Even if he is perceptive, he won't be expecting me to follow him after him when I normally work during these hours. He makes his way through the town until he comes to a stop at a little cafe in the main plaza. It is cleverly hidden, just slightly out of view, not at all in plain view like the rest of the shops. Ria is sitting, waiting for him at the table with a journal. The way she smiles at him numbs my heart. I make my way over to the nearby fountain and crouch beside it to keep out of their view. Sneaking 100. I can hear their conversation just barely from where I sit. I've been searching for you for a long time. When I saw you, you suddenly disappeared from the house one night and I couldn't find you. Why did I leave the house? I don't know. Was it a fight? Maybe no, totally not a fight. We barely ever fought. We made a promise when you gave me this ring. We promised we would never make each other sad. I close my eyes and breathe. Ria's words drive a bitterness through my heart after everything I heard. It is possible those rumors were baseless, but isn't it also possible that they were the truth? Rumpel mentioned a fight. Now is my chance to tell him. Again, how about, let's be optimistic and assume maybe she didn't cheat on him, right? Let's just reconsider both of that and think about it. But if somehow everything that we heard was one big lie, would I hurt Rumpel? I also have my pride. I cannot just accuse someone, even if I feel that Bria is guilty of something. I step away from the fountain, meaning to head back the way that I came. Even if the situation sounds wrong, I feel that Rumpel would hate me getting involved. I am surprised then when he calls my name. Princess? He knew. Or, well, I guess he... I was thinking that maybe he knew this whole time, or no, I guess he just saw us, I guess. I don't know. What are you doing here? He saw me. Did he know I was behind the fountain? Spying, are we? I make my way over to the table to where Rumpel's looking at me with worry and Bria's openly scowling at me. Grr. Is there something wrong, Miss Partner? Not with me, but perhaps with you. Excuse me? Sumimasen? You seem to have quite the reputation. Princess. I have no idea what you're talking about, but taking people's words at face value is foolish. Mother would have said the same thing, but why would they lie? So it is not true that you were seeing another man. How dare you? Ria stands up and glares at me. I frown back at her. Her anger does not faze me. She seems like a petulant child. I can't stand jealous girls. They are the bane of my existence. And you're what, 18? 17? What does that even matter? I don't know. Is that legal? Everyone's been hitting on Lucette, but like she's 17. I don't know. I don't know what the legal age is in this kingdom. Either way, there'll just be about a 6-year age gap between you two. Yeah. 24? God, am I really so ancient? 24? Is that really old? I say that, and I'm 24 anyway. The two of us look at him in unison, then back at each other. I'm here because I want to help my partner, and because you're lying to him. And who are you to say that I'm lying? You're a terrible little spy is what you are, hiding places to watch us, going around town asking about me. I'm telling you now, the Rumpel doesn't need you, especially if you're the one spewing lies. Those words have no weight coming from a hypocrite. Me. Wait, ladies. Rumpel looks between the two of us, eyebrows furrowed, and he shakes his head. Bria, I knew it. It was in my journal. What? Rumpel faces Bria, his expression crumpled. It was that lord, wasn't it? The one I refused to take money from that time I helped him. He told me himself. I think that's why this feeling inside of me is so mute right now. Why always having second thoughts about your stories? Bria, why did you ever tell me you were seeing him? I asked you that question back then too, but you never told me, and so I was waiting for you to bring it up again. I was waiting for you to explain. I was waiting for... As if I could get anything through that thick skull of yours. Even I cannot stop myself from staring at her when she insults Rumpel, but with this she has admitted that the rumors are true. You said you didn't cheat on him, but the lie detector says you did. Whoa, or something, you know. Again, I mentioned that like a talk show. I think I said Dr. Phil. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's Dr. Phil. It's like some other show. I don't really remember, but like, you know, there's like memes about it. You know how like, you know, there's like a cheating couple, and then we learn, oh, like according to this polygraph, you know, you said you didn't cheat on her or him or whatever, and then it's like you actually did, haha, you know, and blah blah blah, whatever drama. But even if I explained myself, all you would ever say was that you were sorry, but nothing ever changed. What did I do that was so wrong? Look at you. Even now you can't bring yourself to be angry at me. You knew the truth, and instead of demanding to know why I did what I did, you keep asking what you did wrong. You'll never realize what you did wrong, Rumpel. Never. Some things never change. Bria scowls as she makes her way around the table. Rumpel tries to call her back, but Bria only frowns as she walks off. Okay, what weird. You'd imagine it'd be her fault, not Rumpel's fault. Like, it's weird. Rumpel lets out a long sigh. And there go all of my journals, too. Right, he did say that Bria had all of his old journals. I'm sorry. I only made things worse. I'm still not entirely sure what they were talking about, but... Well, Princess, you don't have to apologize for anything, though. I would like you to apologize for shedding some age, or I would like you to apologize for shedding some light on my age. What? Am I really, truly that old? Suddenly, he looks disgruntled. The look of the distraught on his face is almost comical. I mean, it is kind of weird. When you think about, I mean, real life, obviously. Someone who's like 17, it's like near like teenager. Someone who's 24, probably like, you know, like at that point, it's like an adult, you know, so it's kind of weird. It's really weird, but I guess, I mean, she's turning 18, so maybe it's okay, I don't know. I kind of hope when I smile and then I start to laugh. The emotional maturity there is kind of, you know, a little, just like a gap, I feel like. I don't know. But do my ears deceive me? Is that the wonderful sound coming from your mouth, Princess? How precious. It's just, you're an old man. He's a boomer. Oh no. If I'm an old man, then I'm young at heart. Besides, I'll be a lot more offended if you were to smile while you said that. After a few moments, Rumpel sighs and shakes his head. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I knew there were more to the story than Bria was letting on because I read the memory in my journal. You knew about the nobleman. Why did you not say anything? Like I said, I was waiting for her to say something. I wanted her to open up about it honestly. Bria is undoubtedly bold, but I doubt she is all that honest. The journal entry, I never read it to you. Well, you've been distant last week. I have been. I'm sorry for that. Allow me to enlighten you. Rumpel gestures to the chair that Bria had been sitting in, and I take a seat opposite him. First, the nobleman was one of my patients. He had a grievous sickness, one that no one else had been able to cure. I cannot help but remember the little boy with the impossible sickness. It seemed he was drawn to Rumpel too. Rumpel was not able to help that boy on his own either. Some woman offered her assistance. Did you manage to cure him with the help of that same woman? It's another cryptic entry, but yes, the mysterious woman from the first entry appears. We struck another deal, but I cannot remember the deal at all. All I know is that afterwards I did something to make Bria hate me, and she began seeing the nobleman. You know, maybe, well, no, maybe it's a misunderstanding, but I'm thinking maybe Rumpel was, like, also cheating, you know? Maybe he was seeing this, like, this woman as well, you know? Or at least making Bria jealous. And ironically, she says, I hate jealous women. And, you know, ironically, maybe Bria's the most jealous of all, you know? Maybe. Or maybe not, I don't know, I'm not sure. We'll see, I guess. Or maybe it was before that. Maybe she was just unhappy. She won't explain why. Well, she still cheated on you. That's her fault, not yours. Rumpel nods absently. I can tell he's not convinced. Well, in any case, even though I can't remember the entirety of what happened, every time I thought of Bria, I thought of our love in the past tense. Yeah, he always said that, like, I loved you, you know? I didn't love you, I didn't love you, I loved you. Rumpel frowns, but it is fleeting. Suddenly, he is smiling again. Well, let's head back for now, Princess. I'll figure out how to reach Bria later. I follow Rumpel back to the Martian. Though he seems fine for a time, Rumpel's somberness returns as we head back. It looks like he is trapped in his thoughts. Well, he needs the rest of his journals, but how is he going to get a hold of them now? You know, sneaking mission. Steal all the journals. I don't know. Something like that. Oh, Princess, you're here. Sorry we're late. My, the princess is gracing us with her presence. Her face said a few days ago that she has something to discuss with me, so I'm here. And let's get right to it, shall we? She plops down on one of the chairs, and Parfait sits down gracefully beside her. Princess, the other day you asked me about my responsibility, and briefly about the Tenebrarum bearer. I did, but what does this have to do with me? It has everything to do with you, because when it comes to that second inquiry, the answer's right here. Delora points at me. I stare at her, not comprehending because I don't have the knowledge from the other timelines. Princess, the bearer to the Crystallum Tenebrarum is you. Nani. The third time, Nani. I'm not able to even feel shock, just confusion. But how do I have anything to do with these crystals? See, I told you she'd be confused. It's because we started backwards. I'm so sorry, Princess. I do not understand. You remember the story about the crystals, Princess? For a time, the crystals were in complete balance. Even the witches, who drew on negative energy, were respected. Then one day, Hans wrote the fairy tales. Witches were suddenly painted as villains. Humans attacked the witches, trying to drive them out. And Lita, who just so happened to be my best friend... Oh, really? I didn't know that. Huh. My mother was your best friend? Well, that's new lore, I guess. Unless she's mentioned that before. I don't remember her mentioning that. Again, like every time they do these revelations, it's just slightly different, you know. So we do learn some new details every time, but it's not exactly the same thing every time. Lydia, who just happened to be my best friend, was hard pressed to try to keep the peace. He was the original bearer of the crystal. But as witches were killed and thrown out, she found her patience wearing thin. She killed a human, the ultimate taboo, and there was nothing we could do but try to stop her. The bearer, the leader of the witches, and the bearer of the Crystallum Tenebrarum is someone you know, or someone you knew. She erased all your memories, made you think that the fairy tales were evil, and that humans were terrible. I feel something dark stirring inside of me. A sharp pain cuts through my heart, making it hard to breathe. The previous bearer of the crystal was your mother, Princess. Idir, the leader of the witches. That's impossible. Mother was not a witch. But she was, the strongest of us all. When she died, she kept some of her powers sealed within the crystal, which is why it still allows the fairy tale curse to be spread. What kind of lie is this? I cannot use magic, and Mother never told me that she was a witch. You would have told me. It sounds like it, doesn't it? But I assure you, Princess, if I took a polygraph test, I'm telling the truth, you know? Even though polygraph tests are a myth. They don't really discern whether or not you're telling a lie or not, but anyway. We won't ever lie to you about something like this. As impossible as it seems, you are a witch. Your power won't manifest until you're 18, and at that time you will inherit control of the crystal, and then you can shoot fireballs, you know? When do we get to shoot fireballs? Come on, I want an ending where we become like an evil witch and take over the world. When's that ending? I kinda want that, you know? Because every time, you know, Lucette, he starts as an ice princess, and she turns to a good person, but maybe I'm sick of that. Maybe I want Lucette to be the evil ice princess. Or, well, I think ice princess actually. I think of Frozen. You know, let it go, let it go. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Since your birthday is soon, this was the last chance we had to teach you goodness. Your mother's been shielding you from it for so long. We trusted you were different from her, and you are. But my mother was the only one that ever loved me. She stole away your memories and made you hate the world. Delora, she was fostering hatred in you, making you just like her. Yep, again. Kind of like a Sith Lord, you know? Like, hatred turns to anger, turns to pain, turns to the dark side, or whatever. You don't know anything about my mother. I stand up, rage coiling up inside of me like a snake. Lucette, I know a lot about her, more than you will ever know. What was this? Yuri? No. The truth is hard, Princess, but eventually we all have to face it. Dear was my beloved friend, maybe girlfriend, I don't know, maybe no, probably not. Facing her was the hardest thing I have ever done. We only wanted to help you. Well, you're not very good at it. I turn on my heels and storm out of the room. I feel that there was more to what Delora Parfait wanted to say to me, but I cannot stand to hear it right now. I walk into the clearing and sit against a tree, furiously rubbing in my eyes as I try to clear my dangerously watery eyes. I hate that. You know, I hate my eyes get dry and get like tears, like not because I'm sad, it's just like my eyes are really dry, you know, but like if I rub them in my hands it makes it worse because there's like oil on your hands, so the oil makes your tear glands tear up even more and it really sucks. But anyway, it happens sometimes. I just really hate it anyway. Showing emotion is weak. I sit there for a long time in the clearing, trying to calm myself. My thoughts spin wildly out of control. Princess? I see him out of the corner of my eyes, standing between two trees, his eyebrows knit together with worry. What, were you listening? Listening? No, I just came to look for you in your room, and when I came downstairs, Parfait told me you had run out into the forest. May I sit next to you? I say nothing as he walks over to me. He sits down beside me, his hands resting on his knees as he looks up at the canopies of the trees. Thank you for today, Princess. For coming after me and trying to make things right. I'm not in the mood to talk about this right now. My thoughts are too scrambled. Sometimes, truths are hard. How do you know it's the truth? A feeling. Trusting people is hard sometimes. I understand. He looks at me, his eyes seem to glimmer softly in the moonlight. Would you like someone to listen to your problems, Princess? I don't know. Guess I'm listening problem. Fine. I rub my eyes as Rumpel looks at me with a quiet smile. He could be talking about his own problems, but instead he's trying to comfort me. But Parfait and Delora told me about something they were keeping hidden from me. They told me something about Mother. It does not make any sense to me because everything they're saying makes her a villain. Well, even villains are often misunderstood or have trying circumstances. Rumpel slowly reaches out to rest his hand on top of mine. I sit up straight and stare at him, my eyes wide. Rumpel smiles at me, a slow, soft smile that crinkles the edges of my eyes. Seeing such a beautiful lady close to tears makes my heart break, you know? If you ever need to cry, you should. Tears aren't weakness, they're just a form of expression. Even the strongest of us cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. When? My mind reels and it starts to feel fuzzy. Definitely the Ice Princess. The title stars me out of my thoughts. I stare at him pointedly, beginning to grimace, but Rumpel just smiles. I always thought it was a delicate name, suitable for a strong and beautiful woman. Seeing you like this, it makes me realize that the name suits you. Perhaps if everyone else meant it that way, it would not be so terrible a title. Rumpel slowly takes his hand away and smiles. Though he insists on hearing me out, I insist on the opposite. For now, I want to keep what I discussed with Parfait and Dolores to myself. I still need time to process it. For tonight, I just want to forget that the conversation ever happened. For some time, the two of us are silent. No words exchanged between the two of us, but the silence is comfortable. Eventually, Rumpel puts a hand on my shoulder. Well, things will work out, Princess. I hope so. I stand and excuse myself. Good night, Rumpel. I turn and walk away. Good night, my sweet princess. I was thinking that was the right choice, actually, to tell him, but I guess not. Because I feel like, I'm probably gonna get the good ending, even though, well, it's fine either way, I guess. Before chapter 10, I'm thinking like, assuming I'll get the good ending. I think I'll get the good ending. I got a lot of points with him, so I assume we're gonna get the good ending. So before I actually do the ending, I'll probably save and then go back and just try to get the bad ending first. See the bad ending first and then get the good ending. I feel like that's better for from a I don't know what the word is. I don't know what the word is. What am I trying to say? Momentum's sake? I don't know, not momentum, but it's better to see the bad ends first, Give me the bad news before I get the good news, Save the best for last, that's our thing. And you, my little sunflowers, are just as radiant as always. Oh my, Rumpel. Just like that whole thing with Bria never happened. He's back to flattering every woman he meets. Overthinking again, princess? I turn to see Karma grinning at me from where he sits at the table. Surprisingly, he's sitting with Jurgen and Garland today, who are arguing about some kind of a night stance. Well, it's none of your business. No, it's not. You have such a sad look on your face, I had to ask. I appreciate you not staring in my face. I don't need to stare to see that you're in distress. I turn my heels and begin to walk away, irritated. Even when I'm among other people, it is impossible to forget the conversation I had with Parfait and Dolores. It hovers at the back of my mind constantly. We have not spoken again since then, yet even now, I'm still taking in what they told me before. My mother, the town brown bearer, and me. A witch. The reason others have always feared me is because of my blood. I suppress a sigh as I attempt to return to my work. As the days go by, I notice myself become more and more agitated. Half of it is the recent history lesson, and the other half is Rumpel's flirting with the woman. How can he just snap his fingers and get over Bria so quickly? If he flatters every woman, does that mean he does not really mean the things he says to me? I gather the plates off the counter, put them on a tray and take them to customers. Today, everything feels mechanical. For the last few days, I've been noticing that I walk more stiffly, and that if I walk too quickly, my vision blurs. Probably because of my overthinking. I stumble as I bring a tray to a familiar customer. The man looks up at me and asks if I'm okay, and I murmur that I am before walking off. The blurriness comes back. What's wrong with me? I look over to Rumpel, who is at a table with two girls because his shift is over. Rather than boil over on the inside, I feel myself getting warmer on the outside. My skin feels clammy. I have to force myself to take a breath as I get the next round of orders. My last order for the day is for one of the girls at Rumpel's table. I don't want to go over there. I start carrying the tray toward the table, biting down my lip as the sway comes back into my sniff. As I draw closer, I notice Rumpel and the girls laughing about something. I grit my teeth and pause in front of them to lay down the tray. Oh, this isn't mine, it's my friend's. Yes, I was the one who ordered the soup. Two stare at me. Instead of handing the soup off, they wait for me to move the bowl. Before I can reach over and move it, Rumpel slides it over to the other girl himself. For a few moments, there's a fragment of a scowl on his face. How are you doing today, my sweet princess? When I think about speaking, the words catch feebly in my throat. I turn to walk off. A princess? So has closed eyes. A tiny ice princess definitely suits her. How can you join her, Rumpel? Despite the numbness of my mind, I still feel angry. I turn around so quickly that I make myself stumble. I feel myself teetering on the edge of falling, but something stops me. Warm hands reach out to grab mine before I can fall. Through my dizziness, I can see Rumpel standing in front of me. Oh, princess, look at me. He puts a hand under my chin and angles my face so I can see him better. The expression on his face is suddenly serious. He looks at me for a few moments before he places a hand on my forehead. Princess, you have a fever. Time for the sick episode. I knew it. He's a doctor. He's gonna take care of us. It's gonna be like a whole scene, and then we feel attached to our caretaker. It's gonna happen. I knew it. A really high fever, actually. You should go back to your room and rest. I'll drop by with some medication in a few minutes after I say goodbye to these ladies. I'm fine. My voice comes out hoarse. Trying to clear my throat only makes me feel more miserable. Princess, you're not fine. You look like you're about to collapse. I will not collapse. I'm stronger than that. Mother taught me how to be strong. I'm gonna be so strong that sickness doesn't affect me for some reason. I don't know. Just like beef up my immunity system by doing some, I don't know, dumbbell bicep curls. Mother. My thoughts become scrambled. Once again my mind wanders, but this time I cannot keep myself steady as I try to walk away. Putting one foot in front of the other proves to be too difficult, and when I once again feel myself start to stumble. Then I feel warmth, this time arms instead of hands. Oh, sweet little princess, what am I going to do with you? Oh, of course, the princess carry. Before I can understand what's happening, I'm lifted off my feet. I feel an arm supporting my back, another supporting beneath the crook of my knees. Warmth. Such a nice warmth. You really are stubborn, aren't you, Princess Lucette? I guess I'll just have to carry you up myself. Every time I pick the option again to go at his pace and everything, it's actually not the right choice. What if I just struggle? To get out of me, I cannot just let him carry me up like this. I attempt to move away from him, but my whole body is weak. It's all I can do is try to roll out of his arms, and even that does not work. Or if you fall, you get a bump on your head, I'm not weak. I don't need anyone to take care of me. And there are voices, an indistinct chattering behind that belongs to the girls. Rumpel speaks in a low voice. Most stubborn as she may be, my sweet princess is stronger than any other woman I'd ever known. He pulls me closer to him, and I feel his chest at my head, then his heartbeat. I know you're strong, princess. Stronger than anyone else, even. But because you are so strong, I know you'll never admit to needing help. That's why I'm gonna help you without your permission. I'm sorry. I slowly let myself settle in his arms. I lean my head into his chest and listen to his heartbeat. It's a gentle, sweet sound that makes me feel like drifting into slumber. So warm. But not as warm as you are right now, princess. You have a fever, so that's literally true. His voice slowly begins to fade out as I close my eyes. For the time being, I stop caring about everything else around me. I forget about Mother, about my talk with Delore and Parfait, about the crystal, the Martian, and I focus on Rumpel. Is it so selfish to want to be the only person held like this by him, even when he was engaged to someone before? Slumber slowly reaches up to claim me, darkness intermingling with warmth. In that last moment, I think I see Rumpel smile at me, and then I drift into the abyss and die. No, give me. I always say, I don't know what's with me with death. I don't know, I just think like, we just randomly die. I think that's just hilarious to me. I don't know, I'm weird. Mother, I'll tell you about the fairy tale that children read to me today. Lucette, what did I tell you about the fairy tales? That I was a princess just like me. She found her Prince Charming and... Fairy tales are not real. But they make really good stories, Mother. They are false stories. Do you really think it would be so easy to live happily ever after? No, but fairy tales make things black and white. Real life is full of grays. That's actually true, actually. That's actually, like, you know, I mean, kind of good advice, but it's kind of, well, then again, it's kind of weird to saying that to, like, a little girl. I don't know. Black and white. Good and evil. No one is totally evil, and no one is totally good. Even princes are not completely just. So princes and princess can be bad? Lucette, everyone has darkness to them. The princes have thrown themselves into danger and are selfless. They seek wealth, fame, or power. You see, fairy tales are lies because no one is so selfless and so full of love. People are two-faced. Trust no one. Yes, Mother. No one will love you like I do. To find pure love like that is impossible. I slowly blinked my eyes open. For a few moments the room is blurry and there's nothing but vivid colors before my eyes. My eyes feel heavy, my throat scratchy. I stifle a cough as I blink back tears, and then through tears I notice a slight motion. Rumpel? Rumpel is slumped in a chair in front of my bed, his head low to the side, his eyes closed. He murmurs something in his sleep and then shifts. I guess he's asleep, you know, while sitting up. I've never done that, you know. I've never, like, slept while sitting up. I feel like that's impossible. Well, actually, when I think about it, maybe I might have, like, drifted off, like, for a few moments, but you know, when I was like really tired or something after like a all-nighter, finish up my essay for like for the class. But other than that, never actually like fully slept while sitting up, because I feel like if I slept while sitting down, probably my head would like fall to the side and you know I would just wake up. So I don't know. I guess some people can do that, but I don't think I can. I need to lie down, you know. What's he doing here? I noticed a notebook on his lap. And what's that journal? I slowly slide my hand out from underneath the covers and reach across the bed. Right as my fingers are about to brush the cover, Rumpel's hand suddenly falls on mine. Ah, looks like you're feeling better. He pulls his hand away, along with the book, before carefully setting my hand back down on the covers. At least you look better, but how do you feel? Better? Rumpel looks tired, but his smile is still there. Oh, I won't believe it until I see it. You just said I look better. That's my own analysis, but you, my sweet princess, don't sound very convinced. My throat is a little sore. I think if I stood up, I would fall over. Why do you look so surprised? Well, you would usually never admit to such a thing, would you? You're still most definitely sick. Rumpel leans forward to put a hand on my forehead. His hand is cool on my hot skin. Our eyes lock as he tests my temperature. After a few moments, he finally peels his eyes away from me and sits back in his chair. Your temperature is down, but you definitely need the rest, princess. You should go back to sleep. And what? And what? Will you just sit there and watch me? The words come out curter than I mean them to, and for a few moments Rumpel looks surprised, then he laughs. Princess, I haven't just been staring at you, I've been writing in my journal too. You have such a scary look on your face. Now that isn't enticing, but I think your smiles are much better. I sigh as I close my eyes for a few moments. I fight to put my scrambled thoughts together, but one thought in particular keeps resurfacing. For some reason, I cannot help but remember the snide woman standing by Rumpel's side, jeering at me earlier. I open my eyes and look at Rumpel. Those women... You say like because there's plural, like because there's woman. I don't know. It's hard because like the way it's like, you know, obviously with woman with an A is like singular, women with an E is like plural. But how do you pronounce it? Like exactly? I feel like it's not the meh like the meh here. It's more like the wool here that's different. So it's like women, right? Woman is singular. Women is plural, right? Is that right? I'm not sure. I don't even know myself. Women. Those women from earlier. Oh, right. I apologize for the impoliteness. The things they said to you were uncalled for, and I told them that. You flirt with women all like that all the time, but why? You're not even good people. Not good people, but Ah, well, I suppose they act differently when you're there. Princess Lucette, you're blind to their jealousy, aren't you? Aren't you? They are jealous of me. Why? My mind turns over what they could possibly be jealous about as my eyes fall on Rumpel. I remember the way he defended me to the women. Is it because you're my partner? It's a lot more than that. It's your grace, the noble way you carry yourself. They would never think I have those qualities. But where else would their jealousy stem from? They're all just jealous that I take your attention away from them. Princess, I think you're... Even if they were nice people, I do not see how you can flirt with them when you were just recently in love with someone else. Normally I would stop talking, but the words continue tumbling out of me. I do not understand how someone like you, who had a fiancé, could still be flirting with girls. How can you love someone if all you do is flirt with other girls? Flattery is one thing, but you cannot just flatter every girl. Why are you still smiling at me? I may not remember a lot of things, Princess, but I know for certain that whatever feelings I had for Bria vanished a long time ago. The good ones, at least. Rumpel. The words break apart as I start coughing. Oh, don't rile yourself up over this, please. Rest. I slowly lean back to my pillows with my eyes half closed. Why do I even care about what Rumpel does? Why does it bother me that he flirts with other girls? That's his business. Rumpel pulls the clovers closer to my chin and smiles. Well, just because I flatter other women doesn't mean that I can't love someone. You always say some woman has stolen your heart, but your heart cannot belong to everyone. Hey, you told me you always speak the truth. Well, maybe that in itself is a little white lie. Just some harmless dramatics. But most girls know that I'm being dramatic, Princess. They don't take my words so seriously, even if I do mean my compliments. He stares at me for a few moments, thoughtful. Well, does it bother you so much that I compliment other girls? Of course not, Baka. Baka. Though it will be difficult to hold my tongue, I will do it for you, Princess, so don't worry. Why would you do something like that for me? My eyes are suddenly so heavy I have no choice but to close them as I let out a deep sigh. My head's beginning to hurt again. Behind my closed eyelids, I can hear a soft shuffle as Rumpel moves in his chair. Right before I fall back into the darkness of sleep, I feel something warm and soft on my forehead. Rumpel? A good night kiss. His words are quiet. I can only just barely make them out. I cannot think on them because the pull of sleep is much too tempting. Again, he looks always ominous on the transition screen, I don't know. It takes a while, but after several days, Rumpel finally allows me to go back to work. It's such a contrast, to his usual jovial self, I guess. I cannot remember much of what happened when he was watching over me, especially that first day. It's all a little bit of a blur right now, like it was all just a dream. Yeah, Princess, back up on your feet? Yes, I am fine now. Oh, what a relief. Last I saw you looked quite pale. When? Oh, I dropped in to check on you in your room, but Rumpel was there. He told me they had everything under control. Why did you need to check up on me? Oh, because I was worried, of course. Maybe you've been working too hard. No, I'm fine. Just tell me what things need to be done. Are you sure you're okay? He's fine, Anise. Delora suddenly appears before me, smirking. The princess is sturdy and a little too stubborn to let a little sickness get her down. Be down with the sickness? I have not spoken to Delora Parfait since that night when they decided to tell me about Mother. Just thinking about what they told me. It puts me on edge. Oh, Princess, why the sour expression? Allow me to calm you down with a little lullaby. Excuse me? Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Anise, give me those work orders now. Up above the world so high. Anise! Oh, the tables in the west are yours, Princess Lucette. I quickly walk away from the bar and catch only the last little bit of Dolores singing. Like a diamond in the sky, or something. He sang that the night I was cursed. Seeing her sing it again is infuriating. Oh yeah, I remember like that happened in the beginning. I remember not remembering the lyrics actually. I guess those are the lyrics. The song slowly fades away from my mind as I go back about my work for the day. I'm still a little shaky in my feet, but not so much that I need to go back to bed. As I'm walking around the bar, I catch snatches of conversations as I serve food. I hear the king is mediating arguments between his two advisors. Oh, no, man, he reminds me of a snake, always smiling, that slithery smile of his. That one in Nowcaster. Apparently there's been no end to the squabbles, not as if they're like preparing to overthrow the kingdom or something, I don't know. The king missed his monthly visit to the town yesterday, didn't he? I wonder if he's sick. There's been no word from the palace, but I suppose he must have come down with something. Man. Nothing would keep the king from visiting otherwise. What is going on at the palace? Ah, you heard about the incident with the royal guard? Apparently lots of them have been getting dishonorably discharged. Or down doing something to dishonor the king's name. Like what exactly? Not sure, that information is still under wraps. Okay, man B, man A, man C, is there man C, man D, man E? I'm walking forward, not watching where I'm going, when I collide with someone in my path. I feel a hand on my shoulder, then another lifts my chin. If it isn't the lovely princess, you're looking a lot peachier today. Because you're not as pale? Because the color's coming back to your skin? I'm still thinking of the king and the situations in the palace. And barely hear Rumpel's words. It isn't until he leans closer to me and narrows his eyes that I realize he is so close. Well now, Sleeping Beauty is truly awake, and here I was hoping I would have an excuse to plant a kiss on your lips, my sweet princess. Not a single reaction today. Not a single slight blush. Not a slap, not... Are you still sick? Must I perform another examination? Examination? Yes, by looking closer at your face into your eyes. How are you a doctor, Rumpel? Rumpel stares at me with surprise. I'm not sure where the question came from, just that it was hovering in my mind. What? Princess, you wooed me! I have not seen you do anything different from a niece. But my prescriptions! Even the people at the shops could tell us what medicines to buy. Fine, I'll show you. Rumpel's expression slips into something shockingly solemn. He looks at me gravely and extends a hand. If you would be so kind as to come up to my room. Does going up to your room have anything to do with your work? Laura appears before me again, this time without the snide smile. He raises an eyebrow. I don't think either your ships are over. She looks at me first. Also, I meant for the lullaby to inspire you, not scare you, princess. For a few moments she looks concerned, which startles me. Oh, the lullaby is certainly associated with a terrible memory, but the wave of that memory has dissipated over time, as has my anger at Laura. It's still there, but holding on to that anger does me no good. You shouldn't hold grudges. It'll stress you out more than it does the other person, so... I sigh, shaking my head. You have a terrible voice. Really? Does she? Was it bad singing, or... Like, was it like, Twinkle, twinkle, little star? Like that? I don't know, anyway. There's the princess we all know and love. She crosses her arms. Anyway, you don't want me to sing you into action again, do you? Come to my room later then, princess. I'll show you proof. Proof. That I'm a capable doctor. Wink, 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 wink. No. Rumpel walks off, leaving me with Laura, who looks at me skeptically for a few moments. Something in your mind, princess? There are so many conversations I heard earlier, so many questions that I have. While I do not want to speak to Laura, I might as well ask her about something she might know. I overheard rumors about the palace. Oh, did you now? We still haven't confirmed those rumors yet. Look, princess, I know it's not in your nature to trust people, but trust parfait in me at least will let you know if something's up. I am ushered back to work, where I spend the next few hours searching for more information. Unfortunately, everything I hear is just speculation. Good work today, Lucette. Has Rumpel already left? I think he went up to his room earlier. Thank you. Denise looks at me curious. What? You Rumpel have grown a lot closer, haven't you? I don't know. Well, we are partners. But in the beginning, you didn't want him as a partner. Now two of you are gonna go like make out his room and now we're a friend now. Wait, are now two of you are friends? Friends. If Rumpel considers me a friend, that should make me happy, but for some reason it makes me feel empty inside. Why? What else could we be besides friends? What else could we be besides friends in like a otome game where we're supposed to be like making out with the boys or something? My cheeks feel warm as I try to think beyond the idea of just being friends with Rumpel. I'm happy the two of you get along. Anise, I need to go. I told him I would meet her or something tonight. Oh, okay. Sorry for holding you up. Anise scrambles off, leaving me by myself. I stand there for a few moments in an attempt to still my thoughts, and I begin to make my way to Rumpel's room. Rumpel? The door swings open, and there stands Rumpel, half naked. No. With a dramatic bow, he ushers me inside, before closing the door behind him. He's not half naked this time. It's only Karma that's always half naked anyway. I wasn't entirely certain you showed up, Princess. Normally, when you go places with me, it's out of necessity. I only came to see this proof you insisted upon earlier. Proof that you're more than what you seem. He places a hand on my back and guides me over to the chair. He requests that I sit, and I do. Oh, here it is. My proof. You tried to read it while you were sick, too. Thanks, a journal. I thought he was gonna like show his I don't know, his medical degree or something. Does that exist? I guess not. Your journal. I've seen him writing this before, but I thought it was for the memories, not for doctor things. He barely even works on patients now. Rumpel's persistence stokes my curiosity, and soon I find myself flipping through the pages of the book. This was the journal you had when the Martian found you on the streets. You said it was empty then. It was. I've been filling things in from my memory ever since I remembered my job. The book is filled with diagrams of the body, both inside and out. I have no idea what most of the words mean. What are all the small words here? Oh, parts of the pancreas. Not very fun to talk about. There's the papilla and pancreatic duct. Why is it necessary to use such big words for such simple things? Well, for clarifications. Sometimes when you diagnose a problem, it isn't as simple as telling a person that their heart is weak. I continue flipping through it. Rumpel sometimes explaining things that are on the page, though I do not ask for descriptions. Scattered throughout the journal are journal entries about his life. When I get to the last entry, I spot my name and begin to read, but before I can even get to the next word after my name, Rumpel has taken the journal from my hands. It says, Lucette is very cute. Think I like her. Sorry, my sweet. A man's words are sometimes all he has. Insult them and you break him from the inside out. He thinks I'm going to insult his writing. Well, what do you think? Aren't you impressed with my sophistication and my breadth of knowledge, my intricacy? You drew some pictures and wrote fancy words by them. Oh, princess. I can't help the little laugh that escapes my lips. Immediately after I hear it, I feel myself flushing as Rumpel grins at me triumphantly. Well, your laughs are sweeter than honey, princess. And because your voice is back and you're no longer sick, I can hear it in all of its fullness. He takes a step closer to me and reaches out to touch my cheek. I flinch in surprise, but do not draw away. The rapid beating of my heart is not altogether uncomfortable, even if it does confuse me. Doki doki. He pulls his hand away from my cheek, then flicks my forehead. Ow! What was that for? I wanted to see the way your eyes glimmered. You looked oddly vacant there for a few moments. I open my mouth to speak again, but Rumpel surprises me by setting his fingers on my lips. He inches closer to me, so close that I can feel his breath on my cheeks. But even when you don't speak, your eyes speak for you. You have beautiful eyes, you know. Beautiful eyes, beautiful eyes, How about we don't look at them? Even though if we look away, it's gonna make us even worse because actually it makes us look bashful. I feel like either way it's not really the right choice, but alright. Look away! There he goes again with his compliments. I should be used to them by now, but lately whenever he compliments me, I cannot stop myself from feeling flattered. When I look into his eyes, I can almost see my reflection in them. Without realizing, I look away from him. feeling my breath stop short before I can breathe out. Are you sick, Princess? You look a little flushed. Princess? He removes his fingers. He does not, however, step back. I'm still aware of his lips so close to mine, and his eyes, which are still looking right at me. This feels different than your usual resistance. Could it be that you're embarrassed? He clears his throat, then starts speaking again. In any case, it's so nice to have you back, Princess. I missed you while you were sleeping day in and out. You missed me? We have friends all over the Martian. Yes, but none of them are you. You're special. My heart plunges like a rock. I can feel it everywhere in my body, reverberating from a place that doesn't feel like my chest. He lowers his face as the two of us are seeing eye to eye. I forget to breathe as his hands go to my shoulders. Princess? Yes? I hail sharply as I get a look on Rumpel's face. Up until now, I should have not stopped to look too closely at his features, but now I cannot stop my eyes from taking them in. Whenever you're sick again, I'll be there to help you, because I am a doctor, even if you might not believe it. All you ever really need is a little vitamin me. God! Wow, oh my god. In one precious moment, every single bit of energy that had been between us vanishes. I stare blankly at Rumpel as he smiles at me. Man, that's a new face. I never saw that face before. No? I thought that one was actually really good too. Rumpel pulls his hands away, defeated. I suddenly feel strangely upset. What was I expecting from him? What else could he have said? Suddenly, I'm eager to look away from him. I look anywhere but at him, and eventually my eyes fall on a piece of paper. I recognize the name printed on the top, along with Rumpel's signature and response lying next to it. Rumpel moves to stand in front of the desk once more. You're still writing to Bria? I sent her a letter asking for my old journals. I'm convinced that's where the last of my memories are, but she refuses to give them to me. I glance at Bria's letter, my eyes scouring the words. I make a mental note of the address on the envelope. But don't worry, Princess, I'll figure it out. But for now... He reaches for me, but I duck out of the way of his hand. Whoop. Just like juke him. I have to do this now, while the address is still fresh in my head. I just remember there's something I need to do. But Princess, that was just... I will see you tomorrow. I pause at the doorway to glance at Rumpel. I'll see you tomorrow, Princess. Sweet dreams. Good night, Rumpel. As we go to Bria's place and stab her in the face and take all the journal entries. Do it! No, done. I seal the envelope over the letter I've been writing since I woke up. Okay, I don't think... I was thinking maybe we would go there physically, but I guess are we just sending a letter? Oh. Now to have it delivered. Oh, okay. Okay, we are going there, or... Okay, we're giving it to the messenger, okay. I don't know, I'm getting mixed up. Anyway, after I have the letters sent out by messenger, I return to my work for the day. It starts first with Mr. Broom, then with the serving. I was wondering, like, maybe we should go there ourselves, you know? I feel like, persuading someone to do something, it's more powerful when you do it in person, you know? So, I don't know. If it's like a letter, she could just look at the letter and just dump it in the fire, you know? Just dump it in the trash and just burn it. I look for Rumpel, knowing that it's now his time off, and I'm surprised when I see him not sitting with other women, but with Karma. The two of them are laughing together? Oh, did they make up? I guess that advice isn't too terrible. I give the best advice, darling. I'm a man of the heart. Perhaps not as much as I am, but I can give you credit when it's due. What are you two talking about? Oh, Princess, we're totally not talking about you and how I love you and everything. Well, hello there, Princess. Karma's mischievous smile confuses me. Even Rumpel looks surprisingly shaken. You do not answer my question. We are talking about matters related to the heart. Of course you are. I took it upon myself to impart valuable advice to Rumpel. You are giving Rumpel advice, even though you two are always at each other's throats? Even the bitterest enemies can become beloved friends. All it takes is a shared interest, you know? It's funny how Karma is, or Claude anyway, is acting like a wingman again, you know? Because he did make, Jurian and Garland be together, and now that Rumpel is going for him for advice, I guess, by doing that, they become closer. I have no idea what you're talking about. But before I can say anything else, I am swept up by Delora, who calls me back to work.